Welcome everybody to Awaken League Spring 2024. It is the week 3 here, and we have week 4, my apologies, and we have 3 games for you. I was thinking of 2 numbers in my head. One came out the wrong way, but it's week 4, 3 games coming at you. We are kicking things off in a moment with mYinsanity taking on Zeno eSports. We then have FireGold Phoenyx taking on Irie Legacy. And then our final game of the day is going to be LadiesFirst taking on Team Solid, I believe. So we have a great day of Rocket League action coming up for you. And of course, I am joined by the wonderful, the incredible, it's Subzan. How are you today?
Doing absolutely brilliant. Thank you for asking me, Rhino. I mean, yeah, brilliant set of games we do have coming up here. I'm not 100% sure on all the specifics of all the teams. I know mYinsanity is currently sitting 9 individual games won, 2 individual games lost, and they do seem to have a very, very solid goal differential, 36 goals to their name. But, you know, they're going to come up against tough competition. I mean, Zeno eSports, I would say that they are the underdog here, don't get me wrong. One game, I said tough, 1 game won, 9 games lost currently so far in the season. So mYinsanity would back themselves to be the favorites here, but I think it really does come on that awkwardness of the rosters that do end up actually being sat, because I see on the stat sheet that mYinsanity do have 5 players on the roster, and I do have it in good word that Greeks is going to be on the pitch today. I'm not quite sure who instead of, but that's a player that I think is going to be the difference maker, or potentially the one that we'll have to look at in this series to whether or not it's an upgrade or a downgrade for this roster.
Yeah, that's something that we're going to figure out in the game for sure. mYinsanity definitely coming into this game expecting to win, you would have to say. Currently undefeated on the season. You would imagine they'd want to continue that run, especially against a team who is yet to pick up a series. Coming off a bit of a disappointing loss. They lost to FireGold Phoenyx in that week 1, and that was probably the game that they would have been looking at as a potential victory. Up to this point, the other 2 games have been pretty tough games against Vision and Permitta. So, yeah, Subzan, I mean, it's going to be a very interesting game to see if Zeno eSports have started to maybe work on things and if they can find a weakness in the mYinsanity team.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the players specifically on mYinsanity, Milox is a player that I have watched many times in the past. He is in the collegiate scene, but I'm trying to remember which roster it was. I do believe it was... No, the specific university does unfortunately leave my head at the moment, but I've seen him a lot of times and I've been in that university space, and I've been very impressed with him every single time I've watched him play. So I think he's going to be that carry figure for mYinsanity. But when you talk about the losses that they've taken, I'm very surprised to hear about the loss they've taken to FireGold Phoenyx. I would have thought that I would have definitely backed that roster to take that one. As much as I'm very, very big on Lucario as a player, I'm not too familiar with his teammates. And I would have thought just with the quality that mYinsanity have as a team, I would have personally backed them to take that one. So frankly, bit of an upset there, but whenever there's an upset, there's always room to make improvements. You can't win forever and expect to get better results. You have to take a loss eventually if you want to improve as a unit. And mYinsanity, I can only hope that what they've done from taking that loss ever since is simply take that, run it in their strides, figure out what they did wrong, and come back as a better roster.
I'll tell you where they won't be an upset, and that's in our second game of the day, because neither team is really coming in as the favorite. It's Irie Legacy taking on FireGold Phoenyx. Both teams 1 and 2. A little bit of a better win record for Irie Legacy, but not by a lot in the slightest, Subzan. And it's going to be very interesting, certainly that game number 2, because that's going to be a big, big game for these 2 teams that have playoff hopes.
I mean, yeah, whenever there's 2 teams coming up against each other that are really on the cusp of that playoffs ability to make playoffs, you really have to sit there and think every single time that you get into those positions against a team that could be looking to knock you down, you really have to take those opportunities. And frankly, if either of these teams miss this opportunity, it could be detrimental for the rest of their season. But the one that comes out on top, they're looking at a very, very smooth sailing road towards potentially getting into that playoff stage and further beyond.
Yeah, for sure. And then that last game of the day, let's have a quick look at it as LadiesFirst take on Team Solid. Another game that should be very interesting. LadiesFirst looking for their first victory of the season, but they're coming up against a team that are 1-2. So LadiesFirst may be looking at that game as an opportunity to find that first series of the season.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, talking of LadiesFirst, I think the star player on that roster has to be Serac.
Yeah.
Mainstay within the WCB scene, played on multiple teams. I think it was, I'm trying to remember, it was the team with pads. I remember watching her play on consistently and always consistently impressed with her performance. So she would be that one person, that one main spearhead towards LadiesFirst being able to get that first win. But as you said, it is tough competition that they have to go up against. But I would personally back them to do it, but it's certainly going to be a difficult road for them. Minus 28 goal differential currently, the second worst in the tournament, only ahead of Zeno eSports, and that's only by 2 goals.
Yeah, that difference might get extended after today, though, after this first game that we have on the docket. We will bring you 2 games right now, and then we will have a little bit of a breather before that third match of the day. Of course, other games around the league have been postponed, certain things, certain problems. We would have loved to have brought you a full slate of games, but unfortunately today that has not been possible. But what I can guarantee you is that the action we are able to bring you is going to be fast and furious, Subzan. Let's have a look at some predictions, okay? I want us to predict all 3 of the games we have coming up today. Let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. Zeno eSports taking on mYinsanity. Subzan, give me a scoreline.
I think I'd be hard-pressed to really say anything other than 3-0 to the side of mYinsanity. I mean, the stats just do not look good for Zeno eSports. I mean, you've got Sharps, who is one of the top saviors in the league, but you look at goal difference between the 2 rosters, plus 17 mYinsanity, Zeno eSports, minus 30, 3-0 wins compared to 3-0 losses. Everything is stacked against Zeno eSports, and unfortunately, I think it'd be a little bit too risky to predict them to take that win. They might get a game off mYinsanity, but I think really anyone looking at that series would see that one as a 3-0 sweep.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with you slightly. My thinking here is that mYinsanity will take this victory for granted, come in and not consider Zeno eSports a particular threat, and I think Zeno eSports will be able to catch them out game 1 and get that win and make it look really good. And then I think mYinsanity will switch on and realize that they are not to be trifled with, and probably take the rest of those 3 games. So my prediction is 3-1 to the side of mYinsanity. Subzan reckons it's going to be a sweep. Second game is a little bit more challenging to predict, Subzan. Irie Legacy taking on FireGold Phoenyx. Who have you got?
See, now that one's a difficult one. They're obviously both sat in a relatively similar sort of situation, but then we look at the stats, and I mean, you know me, Rhino Boy, you know I love a good demo, and you look at Irie Legacy, all 3 of their players sitting within the top 10 in demos per game. Prife, 2.89, Destro, 2.11, Airoli, 1.44, all within that top 10, just demos per game on average. Whereas on the other end, you do have FireGold Phoenyx, who, I mean, you look at the stats as well, Lucario, currently the best savior in the league, 2.86 saves per game to his name, and Kyriox, 2 saves on the dot per game. Now, it's really going to come down to that demo game versus that defensive play. Who really gets that advantage? Will FireGold really figure out how they want to avoid that demos, or are they going to be susceptible to it? Now, that is going to be the big difference maker in that series. But I personally back Lucario. I've played with him a ton, I've talked with him a ton, and I do rate what this player is capable of. So personally, I'm going to lean 3-2 to the side of FireGold Phoenyx. Defense does win championships.
Defense win championships, Subzan, but you know that the other half of that saying is that offense wins games. And I'm going to say that Irie Legacy have potentially the better offense of the 2 sides. And I do agree with you. I think it's going to go 5 But for me, Irie Legacy to take it in 5. It looks like we've got the players getting into the lobby for our first game of the day. It's going to be Zeno eSports taking on mYinsanity, and we are getting things underway right here in the Awaken League.
Game 1, very, very pivotal, I think, for both of these teams to really figuring out what strategies they really want to take into the rest of the series, how they want to counteract their opponent's strategies, especially if you're on the side of Zeno, who are looking to play underdog. They really want to come out of this game 1 swinging, knowing full well that mYinsanity are capable of really taking a grip onto this series if you give them even a tiny little bit of momentum. But Zeno eSports are the ones pressing that one downfield first. The shot coming out, but again, not quite able to get past the defense of mYinsanity. Again, the shot barely off target. And now mYinsanity looks to build from the back half. But Star Circle, immediate challenge to prevent that from happening. Now Psych out again. Cut out there, leaving Sharp the one with the ball. Now Boom downfield. It might be over Greeks. It might actually be in, but Greeks brilliant half hip to get back to that one in time. Does he beat Star Circle? Yes, he does. Now the race up in the air, won by Zeno eSports. But again, no second man, no third man really willing to commit that high into the side of mYinsanity. And there goes Kiva to open the scoreboard as the first goal goes in for mYinsanity.
Certainly does, and they probably looks like the better team from the kickoff. Kiva able to put that one into the middle of the net, and mYinsanity take that first goal. It's not especially great on the defensive side of Zeno eSports, and oh my goodness, that one comes off the crossbar. It's away by Sharps, coming back in from Kiva, but should be sent away by the defense of Zeno, and indeed, there it goes. It's Neil Cook, is that on that far side, looking for the shot? Oh, Sharps sends it right back to the mYinsanity net, but it's going to be now Greeks. Pass to Kiva, pass over to mYlux, and that is a exceptional goal for mYinsanity to score all 3 members of the team involved in that passing play. 2-0.
Yeah, it's exactly what you'd expect from mYinsanity. Looking at the stats, as a team overall, averaging 3 goals per game, compared to Zeno eSports, who do only average 0.43. They barely, half the time, they don't even manage to get a goal, getting shut out on more than 1 occasion every 2 games. And really, their defense holds strong, 5.71 saves per game on average across the whole team. But unfortunately, I do think mYinsanity's offense is going to be a little bit too strong with the way that they've come out in this game 1. There might be a 3rd goal, but Star Circle getting back to it just in time off the demo. Now Sharps to the sidewall. mYlux has missed it, which now gives a chance for Zeno to move upfield. Sharps, the aerial, does he manage to get them on target? No, the clear away from Kiva. But again, it's not out of danger just yet. But Star Circle, he has to beat the man to the ball. He does so, but Sharps is also beaten to it again. Now Star Circle downfield, over to Psychow. Star Circle gets the double tap off the floor, but again, mYlux, stalwart on the defense, doesn't panic, and knows exactly what he needs to do to keep that one out.
That pass was close. It's going to be mYlux on that far side. Going to take it into the corner. Now looking for a teammate to join in, but with 0 boost, he can't find one off that back wall. Chance now for Zeno eSports. The power of friendship! It lives strong in the minds of Zeno eSports. And it takes a double commit to break down the mYinsanity defense. Star Circle and Sharps combined. Sharps gets credited. And that's a very good response coming in from Zeno eSports.
A wise man once said, double commit, double the power. And that's exactly what Zeno eSports encompasses right there, to half that deficit down to a 2-1 deficit. But
yeah. I've got to ask you, Subzan. I've really got to ask. Was that man also a diamond? Because...
No, I believe it was Greasy Meister, actually.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So, actual comment in pro play, although I would expect a diamond to also make the same comment. But regardless, I digress. It's not important to the discussion, but it was an RLCS player. Either way, Zeno eSports, they have now half that lead, and frankly, they've given themselves plenty of time to get that 2nd goal to their name. mYinsanity have looked a little bit awkward for the past minute, and Zeno eSports are going to hopefully look to punish that one, but Star Circle is awkward himself there off the aerial. It wasn't quite the first touch that he would have liked. And Zeno are just looking to try and gain a little bit of control of this ball now. Star Circle, boom downfield. Greeks might miss this. No, he gets the redirect off the hood of his car and back off the backboard.
Great save from Greeks for sure. And now it's mYinsanity who look to go further and get that 3rd goal on the board. It's away though, as Zeno eSports look to build a counter-attack. It's back in from Greeks. He's now looking to find a teammate in the middle, but it's challenged well by the Zeno eSports defender. And now Star Circle, big demo on that corner, is going to be able to eventually send it away as well from Psycho. And this ball is going to be on that far side. Sharps now has to get it past at least 2 players. Gets it past 1, but gets dunked in the end off the back wall. Got a waterfall! And Kiva is there waiting for it to do just that. 53 seconds on the clock. It might be a little bit too short a time to see Zeno eSports make this comeback.
Yeah, and the positioning there from Kiva, the complete and total trust in mYinsanity getting that dunk onto the defense of Zeno, putting it down into that waterfalling position. And they're sat there ready, and now here comes Kiva again with the pre-jump. He might get this one again, but barely off the crossbar. Is someone on there? No, mYinsanity blocked out by Psycho. But again, here comes mYinsanity. They're not happy sitting on a 3-1 lead. They know that even though Zeno might be currently sitting last place with the worst goal differential, they know that this is a roster that can still make a comeback happen if they lack any sort of respect. But here comes a 4th goal, courtesy of Greeks.
No, absolutely no. What is the word I'm trying to say? No mercy, no respect, no nothing coming out from mYinsanity. They are 4-1 up with 27 seconds on the clock in this game 1. Best of 5, of course. They still need to win 2 more, but this is a very good sign for mYinsanity to move forwards and continue that undefeated run in the season. It's eventually pushed away by Zeno, and they might just about get one for the road here, but mYinsanity is going to make sure that it does not go in. Greeks maybe looking for that 5th, maybe looking for a teammate instead, but actually he's going to try and take some time off the clock with going through that aerial. Back in the middle from Kiva. Will there be someone at the back post? No, there will not. And mYinsanity take game 1 4-1.
Yeah, dominant display there from the undefeated side, Zeno eSports. They really have to find an answer now, because while it looked good for quite a significant portion of that game 1, the unfortunate reality is defense, at least in the sense that Zeno eSports are really going for right now, is just not cutting it against mYinsanity, who are currently firing on all cylinders. Zeno, they really need to find that answer. They need to make it happen now, whether it's like I was talking about earlier with Irie, literally just demo plays. If you need to take a player out of mYinsanity, because they really do seem to have that structured rotation right now. No panicking, no overcommits, just a constant flow of offense and defense, just based around the trust and the system that they have in place. And the best way to break that apart is simply remove a player off the field. I think looking at the scoreboards, you would probably want to aim for Greeks, currently the MVP of game 1. But Zeno, they really just need to find any way, just instill that little seed of chaos into mYinsanity, break apart that structure that they've built up in game 1, and really, I mean, that's the best way they're going to be able to take this series. But it all starts here in game 2.
Yeah, there's a great chant by our friends across the pond in America that goes, be aggressive, be aggressive, and that is exactly what Zeno eSports will want to be in this game number 2. They need to get this back. Giving mYinsanity series point is not really an option at this point if they have hopes of winning this series. It's now Greeks in that far corner, though, keeping the pressure on that backline. Double commit coming in from Zeno, but there's no one there to capitalize from mYinsanity just yet. Now the ball back in the middle. Another double commit, this time coming out from mYinsanity. Star Circle looking for a teammate, looking for a friend, but he's not going to see one in the middle, and now it's Greeks to bring it forwards. Maybe looking for a bit of a pump fake, but it's going to be mYinsanity to go on for the shot. No redirect is in, and we stay 0-0 with 30 seconds gone.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm liking the confidence I'm seeing from Zeno eSports so far. It's really the best way that they're going to be able to make this upset happen.
Oh!
But unfortunately, the skill of mYinsanity might just be a little bit too much. mYinsanity pre-jumping Greeks, and the double tap coming through. 4 minutes 17 left on the clock. mYinsanity, they open up the scoreboard.
That was gross from mYinsanity. Absolutely incredible. They might look for a little bit of a kickoff goal here. Pass back. Kiva is pre-jumped, but it's going to be put behind him, and now there's a chance for Zeno to push forwards. Lots of boost on their side, but Greeks is just going to send that one away, unchallenged as well. Moving forwards, going aerial, going for that solo play, and It's going to be pushed over to the side by Star Circle in the end, but the ball's back in the middle. Kiva is going to drop at the back post, but there's no one from mYinsanity particularly interested in going for that one yet. Greeks on that side wall does get challenged. mYlux has a chance here. Star Circle challenges again, looking for that top left corner. It's pushed away by the back wall. Kiva tries to fake it. It's all mYinsanity pressure right now. Zeno eSports cannot get out of their own half with possession.
Yeah, I think that is the key thing here, really. The possession game that mYinsanity have built up. They're always making sure that they have that second man ready to commit high in case the ball goes a little bit to the wayside. And exactly like that, Kiva off the dunk from Greek, side wall into the back of the net from the crossbar. And it's exactly the structure I was talking about for mYinsanity. They've built that up to the sense that you really don't get any sort of space if you're Zeno eSports. You can't hope to just hit the ball and just play a little bit of praying. You have to force the issue yourself and really make these defenses awkward. Because right now, mYinsanity, they've got all the control. They're taking that first touch on the ball that I really have not seen that much of from mYinsanity. And that is the one big difference maker, the one changeable thing that mYinsanity is doing over Zeno eSports that really needs to be changed.
Yeah, that ball, it was looking like it could have waterfalled down once again. That is going to be up in the air from mYlux. Greeks goes up, pre-jump from mYlux. It's going to go to Greeks instead at the back post, and he pushes it, gets pushed away. Kiva, that's not on target, and with 0 boost, he's not going to be able to recover that either. Psycho is able to get that one towards Kiva, and it's back in, but saved away once more. This mYinsanity side are so aggressive. They're so offensive, and they continue to move forwards. Hang on a minute. Great save from Greeks there off of the sharp shot, but that is a little bit of a warning sign for mYinsanity that if you give Zeno eSports enough time, Subzan, they will get the chance and they will strike.
Yeah, exactly. Any team, if you give them that respect, give them that space, they will eventually start to fold your defense a little bit. And it is what we've seen, a little bit of a taking of their foot off the pedal, mYinsanity, for just a few seconds there. I've noticed a considerable increase in the pre-jumps, maybe disrespecting Zeno eSports, but that's the exact position that Zeno eSports will want to be in, the position where mYinsanity are not playing to their 100%, either because they don't think they need to, or simply because they just want to hit those clips, hit those impressive shots, but they don't need the clip tool for that one. Kiva, midfield to Greeks, off the corner, 3-0.
And mYinsanity are running away with this at this point, as maybe we expected they would, having looked at this game in the pre-show, Subzan. This is exactly what we kind of prophesied, what we saw coming, as Psycho now going to look for an answer, but once again, there is a mYinsanity defender equal to it, and this time it's Kiva, and now Kiva getting bullied by Star Circle. Still has the ball somehow, but eventually it gets pushed over to the side, and now Greeks wanting to get this one into the middle, and it will go that way as well. Greeks is able to convert. It was awkward. It was all over the place. The Zeno defense is AFK, and it's mYinsanity to take 4.
Yeah, it was just a mistouch there from Psycho. Really dropped it down in front of mYinsanity, who realistically, they have the speed and those recoveries to make it back to an awkward ball like that, even after having already committed to a separate challenge in the first place. And that's exactly what Zeno eSports gets punished for there. But I'm liking what I'm seeing at points from Zeno. We saw Star Circle, as you said, really bullying mYinsanity off of the ball. They didn't, unfortunately, get possession of it off of it, but it's the exact correct idea that they need to go with. And it's exactly what I really want to see more of, particularly from Star Circle, who has really been that one player, at least for me, I think I've talked about the most from Zeno eSports. But currently, it's Greeks downfield. He's got possession. Does he have a flip? He does. But Sharks with the block. mYlux looks at the double tap, but the double tap's not quite on target. Now Star Circle, again, the clear. They're trying to bang the ball and hope, but the ball is just ending up straight back into the arms of Zeno eSports, who are taking that first touch again, taking that control, and making sure that Zeno can't gather any sort of defensive opportunity. But there's Star Circle off the pass from Psycho, and that's 1 goal to the good of Zeno. It might be a little bit too late in game 2, but it's a warning shot for game 3.
They've been good for a goal in both games, and to be fair, that's probably what they could have hoped for in this series, as mYinsanity have been so quality across the series. Maybe going to get a second one as well off the kickoff. 17 seconds for 2 goals, 2 kickoff goals, Subzan. We could start to believe.
Winnable.
Winnable.
I've seen situations like this unfold into a win before. I've seen it. Yep, I've seen it. I remember a very distinct opportunity. 3-goal deficit, 20 seconds left. A man and his mustache. The mustache didn't survive. I told that story on basically every cast I've ever been on where there's a situation like this. And it's a story that still gets me to this day, but unfortunately for Zeno eSports, that prophecy doesn't look like it's going to be foretold this time, as the clock does now finally hit 0. They might get a third for the road, but unfortunately not, as the ball is spiked down, and mYinsanity do claim triple match point.
They do, and we find ourselves in this position where mYinsanity just needs to win 1 game out of the next 3. Zeno eSports need to win 3 on the bounce if they are able to get this series past mYinsanity. But Subzan, we've talked about wise men before, and a wise man once said, you cannot reverse sweep if you do not lose the first 2 games.
This is true, yeah, that's one way of putting it, I guess. Sure, it's not the position Zeno eSports would have wanted to be in, but, you know, they can maybe say that it's, it's for content, but they are in that position either way. A reverse sweep, it's never easy to do, especially against a team that I think most people would back to be the favorites in this matchup. But Zeno eSports, they do now put themselves in a position that very few teams ever really get to be in. And that's a position where you can just throw caution to the wind at this point. You're down 0-2 against an undefeated squad as a side with no wins. There's no reason to hold on to any inhibitions, any real sense of caution. Just throw that to the wind. Just start diving. Make them tilted. Make them think, God damn, these people are just throwing themselves at the ball. What do we do? Make them annoyed at you. Do anything you can to really tilt the side of mYinsanity, because right now, that might be their ticket back into this series. I don't know what the mentals look like on mYinsanity. Obviously, it's going to be brilliant right now. They're up 0-2. However, if they start getting into a little bit of a difficult situation, that might start to shift the other way, and Zeno eSports might find themselves slowly but steadily clawing a little bit of space into the absolute stronghold that is mYinsanity right now, and who knows how that could develop into the rest of this series.
Yeah, for sure. It's something that you often say when you're looking at, for example, like a football game, right? Where there's a Premier League side taking on like a League One side. You want the League One side to make it difficult for that Prem team. You want them to really like basically get in their face, take as many 50s as they can, try and challenge as much as they can. And this is the kind of advice that you give when your back is against the wall and you kind of need something to step up. So make it awkward. Make it, interesting, and give mYinsanity a different look to what you've been showing in those first 2 games, because they've now got used to that. They know what to expect for that style of Rocket League. So Zeno now needs to change at least something up to unsettle the mYinsanity game plan.
Yeah, Zeno eSports right now sit in a position where, if any of you have ever watched the English FA Cup, they sit in the position where they are effectively the Maidstone United of this match. Maidstone, for anyone who hasn't watched it, I think made top 16 in the FA Cup, beating teams 5-6 tiers above them. No, it was like 4 or 5 tiers above them. But either way, they sat in the 6th tier of English football and then made their way up to that top 16 round. And that's really the underdog mentality that Zeno need right now. They know that they are on paper the weaker roster, and they know that their records are currently showing it. They're down 0-2. Really, there's no reason to be nervous anymore. No pressure. Just go for it.
No pressure, just go for it is the order of the day from Subzan for Zeno eSports as they stare down the barrel of a potential sweep from mYinsanity, who have looked so good this season. We are just waiting for the players to get back into the lobby, and we will be rejoining the action as soon as we can. But this is a bit of an elongated break, a little bit of a timeout, if you will, Subzan, for both teams to kind of take stock and have a discussion about what's going on. Zeno eSports, if they start fast after a timeout this long, who's to say what could happen?
Yeah, who is to say in certain, but a timeout like this also works as a little bit of a double-edged sword. mYinsanity, they do also get that time to really talk things over with each other and really just dissect what Zeno eSports might do in this third game and really make a game plan to shut it down. They've not had any problems with them yet. However, they will understand the position that Zeno is in is going to lead them to a game style that is a little bit more unorthodox. Those divey plays, those throwing caution to the wind, really just pushing all three players hyper-aggressive into the enemy half, not really leaving anyone back. It's either going to create a situation where Zeno eSports are going to sit here and make this comeback, or we could see a Brazil from mYinsanity. That's how this game style works. You either absolutely dominate, or you get dominated. There's no in between.
Yeah, for sure. And it is that danger, isn't it? Because if mYinsanity do adjust and they do see what you're doing and they put those balls over the top and they're on target and your defense is, you know, scrambling to try and get that ball clear, yeah, okay, there's big problems on that point. But at this point, what do you have to lose if you're Zeno eSports? As we've said multiple times, right? If there's a 50-50 chance that you go on and win the game, you'd probably take that over the less than 25% that you've been showing so far in the game plan that you've had. So we have got the players back in the lobby. They will start joining up as soon as they can. And here we go. Game number 3. mYinsanity looking to sweep. Zeno eSports looking to avoid that fate. Subzan, let's find out what happened.
Yep, readied up here on Neon Fields. I mean, it's certainly a bit of an unorthodox map, and I've seen people make their complaints about it on Twitter and things like that, but mYinsanity are just simply going to keep all guns blazing. The system is working. mYlox up to Kiva, 5 seconds into game 3, and the status quo is once again reinstalled.
I said, what if Zeno have a fast start to this game? I didn't even consider what would happen if mYinsanity have a fast start to this game, but they have 11 seconds into game 3. mYinsanity find themselves 2-0 up, 2 quick kickoff goals, and Zeno eSports have it all to do.
Yeah, I mean, 10 seconds in, 2 goals down. It's chaos. It is chaos, and Zeno eSports, this is not the start they would have wanted, but we got a stats man in the back mentioning how Kiva specifically on the side of mYinsanity spent more time in the Zeno's offensive half as he did in his own defensive half in that last game. It does speak to really how much space mYinsanity are being given by Zeno, and there goes Greeks for the 3rd.
I wonder if Zeno have kind of clocked out a little bit as mYinsanity now take 3-0 lead inside 35 seconds. I mean, this is even more of a demolition than we saw in those first 2 games. This is mYinsanity now deciding that they want to go full 100%. How many goals can we score? Flip reset chance! It's saved away by Psycho. That would have been a clip for sure. But yeah, mYinsanity, they certainly are pretty insane. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, and you know, what more would you expect from the second highest offensive team in the tournament right now? As we talked about before, 3 goals a game on average for this side, and currently they're sat on those 3 goals. But with 4 minutes on the clock, there's the capacity for them to get even more and potentially overtake Cloud eSports, who do currently sit on that first place position on the top scorers for the league. Top assists as well, actually, Cloud. Cloud are just like... Cloud's offense just looks crazy. But either way, it's not looking good for Zeno, as that might be a 4th, but it's barely off the target. But the demo from Kiva should open up. mYlox's shot wasn't quite fast enough, and now mYinsanity look to actually get pressured back towards their own half as Psycho takes the shot, but Greeks barely gets that save, but the save is just about good enough to keep it out.
Just about good enough to keep it out. And you talk about, you know, mYinsanity and obviously Cloud eSports there. Those 2 teams will face each other in week 8, so still a little bit of time before we see the clash of the Titans, but at the moment, we're seeing one of those Titans absolutely stomp on one of the villagers. It's Greeks to put it off the back wall, Kiva to follow in, double touches off that back wall, and mYinsanity lead 4-0 as Zeno eSports have been completely washed aside in this series. Greeks now going to look for maybe one more. Goes over the top. Waterfall double touch, and it's in from Greeks. Oh, that's not smashing plates. That is simply just smashing as Greeks puts that one down into the net. 5-0 to mYinsanity, and they do not look like slowing down anytime soon.
No, they don't. They look on track to get 10, the big double digits for mYinsanity. We talked at the start of this series about how Greeks was really going to be that, I mean, I wouldn't say difference maker considering the records that these two are on, but really that big question mark being that one player that, I mean, I'd been told that he was meant to be main roster, but was on a vacation, so couldn't play, but regardless, was sat here on no games played in the season so far. So it was going to be that one big question mark, that one big telling factor of could mYinsanity keep on doing what they've been doing to all the other teams they've played so far, or would he be that little bit of a downgrade? I think that question has well and truly been answered. 3 goals to his name, a hat-trick in this game 3 as Zeno eSports looks actually are pressing a little bit upfield. They want to try and make this scoreline a little bit respectable, but the defense of mYinsanity not allowing any sort of shenanigans to go through their defense. And now here comes Greeks. He's got the control. It's the ball on. It's a brilliant save from Psycho to keep the 6th goal for mYinsanity out of the net.
Small victories. That is a fantastic save. And Zeno eSports are also normally pretty good for a goal in these games, so we'll see if they are now. Greek's trying to send this one clear, gets the reset, looking for maybe a second, but Psycho's going to pick it up on midfield. No one there to bump for Star Circle. Kiva has a chance into the corner, but with 0 boost, cannot rectify his position. Sent away by Sharps, but that ball might be on target, saved away by Psycho. So Zeno eSports showing a better look in the back half of this game. Ball up in the middle. Who's going to get there first? It's well challenged by Sharps. He's looking for a second touch. It's going to be into Kiva. Kiva's going to give it to mYlux, but at the back post, Psycho's coming in. It's on target. It's saved away, and that one did have the speed of a dead snail, Subzan, but at least it's a shot on goal.
Yeah, a shot nonetheless. They would have liked it to be considerably more powerful. You described it like a dead snail. I typically, when I'm in communications myself, I typically describe it more like just a wet flannel. Just like you hit it with a force that is almost non-existent. And that was that shot. But I mean, Zeno eSports, it is unfortunate. However, they do seem to have locked it in for the final, at least for the last 2 minutes. They haven't conceded since conceding that 5th goal with 3 minutes left on the clock. And I mean, 5-0, it's not the scoreline they would have wanted, but they've at least held the fort for the rest of game 3. But mYinsanity, absolutely sublime from them so far in this entire series. It's absolutely no wonder this team is currently sitting in 2nd place, undefeated, as a goal actually almost looked like it was going to come in there from Star Circle, trying to make this game a little bit respectable if they can. But now they're on the back foot again as a shot from Greeks comes in. Star Circle, it's an awkward clear, but it's a clear nonetheless.
Yeah, and it looks like they might try one more as he pops it over the back lines, and it's Sharps to save it away. Chances they move forward, Star Circle, but no, mYlux says no. And that should just about do it. Maybe looking for a double touch, maybe looking for something else on the side of mYinsanity, but this is just sad, really, to watch as it goes across the goal line. It's kept up still. 0 seconds on the clock. Zeno wants to recover, but not going to do it. 5-0. mYinsanity win game 3 and 3-0. mYinsanity win the series. That game was brutal to watch.
And unlike previous casts we've done together, Rhino, I actually finally got a prediction right.
You did.
you know how awful my predictions are, and frankly, I mean, I feel like that one was almost a gimme. I feel like predicting mYinsanity 3-0 over Zeno, it feels harsh to say that to Zeno, but with the way that mYinsanity have been playing and the way they've shown themselves in that series, it's really hard to argue otherwise. But Zeno, they showed glimpses of success, of brilliance in that series, and it's certainly not over for them, but it puts them in that awkward position now where I really think they have to they need to find something, they need to find their foothold in a series, find some confidence and start getting those wins if they want to push towards those playoffs positions.
Yeah, I totally agree. But what we do have to say, right, is that is going to be one of the toughest games that Zeno eSports are going to play this season, okay? That is a very difficult opponent. And they actually looks like they had some good looks. They were able to make some good defensive plays, certainly in that first 2 games. They got a goal on both of those first 2 games. So the season, as you say, is not over for Zeno eSports in the slightest. They will come back next week and they will take a lot of good kind of ideas away from this game against mYinsanity. However, looking on the flip side, mYinsanity will walk away from this game feeling like this is job done and the expected outcome was reached.
I mean, I would feel like you would when you're in the position that mYinsanity are in, coming up against a team in last place, you would back yourself to get that win over the line, and it is exactly what happened. I'd feel like mYinsanity, I mean, again, it sounds harsh to say, but the players would probably feel disappointed if they dropped a game there. But they do get it over the line. The goal difference is incredible. It's exactly what they need if they want to catch up to Cloud Esports, who currently almost sit on double their goal difference, 31 compared to mYinsanity's 17 before coming into that series. But I'm trying to think, it was what? 4-1 in game 2, 5-0 there, so that's +8. I think game 1 was 3-1, so that's +2. Yeah, so +10, they sit on 27, still 4 behind Cloud Esports, and Cloud Esports still yet to play. The game difference, it's on their side. I mean, it's on their side in theory. They go up to 10. Cloud Esports, if they get taken to game 5 if they get taken to game 5 in their series, then mYinsanity will actually leapfrog them into first place, but they've put themselves in the best position possible to really snipe away that first place position away from Cloud Esports.
mYinsanity 3-0 victors over Zeno eSports. We're going to take a very quick break, and when we come back, we will have an interview with one of the mYinsanity players. You will not want to miss that, so stick around. We'll see you in a moment. Was an absolute demolition. mYinsanity taking down Zeno eSports 3-0, and we are joined on the desk, as you can see, by the wonderful prodigal son returning to his team. It's Greeks. How did you find that game, Greeks?
How to say, like, we already knew that we are probably a little bit better than them, so it was kind of like, it was a good game, actually. Like, for the first time, it was easy to come back, like, and also to find my teammates, like how they play and stuff. So it was actually a good game for the first one, so we can compete against better players. So yeah,
I mean, that's good, and I think you guys were playing absolutely incredible. But I think the one moment I think to is that game 2. Towards the end of that second game, they did seem to make that little bit of a comeback. They scored 2 goals in quick succession against you guys. When I think there was a lot of pre-jumps going on. Was that just maybe a little bit of overconfidence, or did you guys just, or were they just like breaking down your defense?
I would say we started a little bit of trolling, like we also didn't start coming anything else, and my brain just went down and I started trolling in defense and stuff. So I know one scene when I bumped Kiever in defense, and so they scored at this point, and then I was like, yeah, okay, I stopped troll. I stopped like doing stupid things, dumb things in the defense or in rotation. So I got back up and we won the game.
You certainly did. There are still 5 weeks left here in the Awaken League, but you guys are currently undefeated through week 4. I mean, I guess my question mainly is, who do you see as your biggest competition in Awaken League?
Like I thought about Flow, like actually VisionGaming, because I'm scared of his mechanics sometimes. But I don't know even who our future opponents will be.
I think you've already played Vision, actually.
Yeah, they played with Mark against them, they told me.
Yes.
And so I'm already happy that I don't have to play the game against Flo.
Hey, playoffs. Playoffs could happen.
Yeah, could happen.
Could be the grand final, but I'm interested to sit here that you've not mentioned Cloud Esport there, the other team that are undefeated. Is that a team that you guys just back yourselves to beat, or is that sort of like one that you're really just like kind of pushing to the back of your mind, thinking we won't think about it now, we'll come back to it later when they're actually like a problem? Like what, 4 weeks down the line? I think you play them week 8.
I would say Cloud Esports, like isn't it Samwe, Stake, and Ocelon?
It is Karma, Trocker, and Velocity on Cloud. Okay.
I thought like they put a new team on. Oh, my bad. Okay, yeah. That team was probably the strongest one.
Right.
Where we're gonna meet up, yeah.
mean, I think you're playing week 8 anyway, so do you guys have any, like, are you guys going to, like, put in your research for that team, or is it just kind of going to be the game plan you go in for every game, where confident, feel like you're the better team, and just play it exactly how you guys have practiced?
Yeah, we're gonna go into the games, like, with confidence, probably more so. Because every day could be another day, so just go in with confidence, try your best, and don't overthink too much. That's all you can do.
Good stuff. Great to hear. Well, we are going to close this interview down. Thank you so much for joining us. Greeks, do you have any final words for the stream?
Wait. Nah, it's alright. I don't have any last words.
Okay. We'll see you in a moment. Take care.
Yes. Bro, the thing is...
There we go. And we still have a second match on the cards. It is going to be Irie Legacy taking on FireGold Phoenyx. Thank you so much for joining us, by the way, Greeks, for that interview. We greatly appreciate it. As we look ahead to this next game, and Subzan, if this is another 3-0 sweep, then I might just quit.
I mean, I don't see this being a 3-0 sweep. I feel like the quality of these two teams is just a little bit too close to each other. I talked about it in the pre-show that I see this being a 3-0 sweep, and I still back that opinion. Both teams sat on 1 and 2 right now, but currently FireGold Phoenyx a single goal difference behind Irie Legacy, -7 compared to their -6. But it really comes down to defense versus offense here. We talked about it in the pre-show. Irie Legacy with the demos, FireGold Phoenyx with the defense, the savior of the tournament, Lucario. It's now going to determine who really comes out on top as game 1 has kicked off.
Certainly has. It's Destro on that far side looking for a teammate that are near post. It's going to hit the post, but now it's, I think that's Prith who's looking for that far shot, but it's now Cyriox to send it clear. Lucario trying to challenge with 0 boost, not getting very far. Destro comes back the other end for Irie. Now looking for the ball into the middle, but he's going to get pushed away. It's now Prith trying to deal with this one on the back lines. Not doing a very good job. That's going to fall in the middle, but it's away from the net from Irie Legacy. But it's early signs of aggression from FireGold Phoenyx.
Yeah, and FireGold Phoenyx, they really need this win. I mean, both teams do as well, but the confidence to get a win against an opponent of an equal record is really completely understated. And here goes Max with the shot. The low shot goes through the defense, and Max gets that first goal for FireGold Phoenyx. And the 1-goal lead, Irie Legacy are now the ones on the back foot.
Destro was not expecting that. Maybe they're thinking it was going to go a little bit higher in the net, but instead he finds that bottom corner, and FireGold Phoenyx take the lead in game 1 as we move forwards now into the second minute of the game, and it could be a response here from Irie Legacy as they're going to find their man in the middle hourly, but it's going to be Prith on the back wall, looks for the double touch and finds it as well. FireGold Phoenyx strike, but Irie Legacy strike immediately back, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, that chaos on the back line of FireGold Phoenyx, something you wouldn't expect from a roster that has been really championed for its defense, averaging 6 saves a game is this roster. Lucario, we mentioned him in the past, the top savior of the league, currently 2.86 saves a game. He's typically ending up on that back third, being the player who makes sure to protect the net, but on the other side, he trusts his teammates, and there's Cyrox. Again, for every team, again, you punch me, I punch you back. FireGold Phoenyx restoring the lead after losing it, and having Irie Legacy getting back. Now they've got to fight it back again.
Trading blows of these two sides, and it's Irie Legacy who have fallen behind at the moment. 2-1, they are losing right now. It's Lucario not able to get that one off the back wall. Awkward position for FireGold Phoenyx, and Destro flies through from midfield, says, I'll take that if you're not going to hit it. It's 2-2 with about 2 minutes gone on the clock with a little bit of change, as there is nothing to separate these two teams right now, Subzam.
No, trading blows eternally is Irie Legacy and FireGold Phoenyx, but all of the goals, they really seem to come out of opportunities that, I mean, dare I say, really shouldn't be developing to be as dangerous as they should be. I feel like I've seen FireGold Phoenyx with 2 whiffs that have caused both of their goals. Whereas Iron Legacy, just maybe overcommitting slightly has been their downfall so far, but I guess that's really the trade-off you make when you go for this demo-heavy playstyle. Obviously, we've talked about the demos, but the one thing I've not mentioned yet is that lack of demos. More so, the fact that FireGold Phoenyx, 2 of their players, Cyrox and Lucario, some of the least demoed players in this tournament. Cyrox, the 3rd least demoed, Lucario, the 7th. We talked about how Lucario was really going to have to be the defensive rock for FireGold Phoenyx, and it seems like demos aren't even going to be enough to stop him from setting up his defensive wall on the back line. And I mean, I've played with Lucario in the past. I've played RCS with him. I've played all sorts of really grassroots tournaments with him, and I've seen that defense on full display. I know that this player, he's played ones. He's played a lot of ones, which means he knows how to defend the net, especially in a X on 1 situation. And if there was any player on FireGold Phoenyx I would trust to hold that fort, it would be Lucario.
Yeah, for sure. Destro flying through is saved by Lucario. There you have it. He's back in there and now saving away as Siriox. It's Destro on that far side. It's a lot of pressure coming out from Irie Legacy. They've not led in this game yet. Will that change? Prith coming through, but saved away by Siriox. Only as far as halfway as Irie trying to turn on that one, but Siriox beats them both. 2 Irie Legacy players taken completely out of the equation by a power shot from Siriox. He gets that read, actually. It's a fantastic 50 that gives FireGold Phoenyx the lead once again.
Oh, and if you're Iron Legacy, you're going to be so annoyed that that one has slipped through the cracks. It was a complete ego challenge. Really no right for Siriox to go for that ball. It was super overcommittal, but he goes for it anyway, backs himself to get that exact situation to play out, and doesn't get punished for it. FireGold Phoenyx, they do now have that lead restored, but Prive going again for that corner sidewall double. Doesn't quite make it come to fruition though, as the ball is now again on the side of Iron Legacy, as they have to build this one from their back half. But Destro doing a good job of taking that one down, but also isn't challenged by anyone from FireGold Phoenyx. That is a little bit of a bad sign. It's not been punished for it yet. However, they can't afford to keep giving Iron Legacy the space and the time to build an offense out from their own half, because eventually a mistake will come through from FireGold Phoenyx and they will get punished for it, as a double fake from Max and Lucario. Siriox again diving in for the shot, but not quite there again. Max again downfield now, tries to get a bump, doesn't quite get it on either player from Iron Legacy. Now Lucario again, but the demo coming out of Destro leaves Max in a 1 versus 3, but the offense is fumbled ever so slightly from Iron Legacy, and it fizzles out from this clear, hopefully coming out from Lucario, but it's awkward now. No boost from Siriox as he has to dive for that one, hoping and praying to get something, but Iron Legacy making the decision to back off and play again from their own half.
Might have been a good decision. Irie needs to get it past Lucario, but he can't. The ones player comes through, and it was an all-or-nothing attempt from Irie, but they're going to keep moving forwards. Team Pinch there is not going to come through, challenged by FireGold Phoenyx right at the death, and they are able to take game 1 3-2, but you have to say, Subzan, I'm not sure either team looks like they were the outright better team in that game 1.
I'd 100% agree, but it's something you tend to see within game 1 situations where the teams really are just kind of, they're not firing on full cylinders. They're kind of feeling each other out a little bit, figuring out their opponents, figuring out their own game style. But, right, I mean, FireGold Phoenyx are the ones that end up getting rewarded for that, but it was almost dicey there. Iron Legacy, I mean, we saw that team pinch at the end, and I had a look, I could see really the direction that ball was going in the split second that the ball was actually flying before getting blocked by, I think it was, he's now changed his name to Unknown. But either way, by one of the defenders from FireGold Phoenyx, and if that defense block hadn't come in immediately, that was going top left corner with absolutely nothing that could be done to stop it.
No, for sure. And now it's Irie Legacy on that back foot, looking for the shot, saved away by Max, but it was a little bit late. Still able to get that clear, though. Destro now challenging over the top of both of the defenders. They pushed up too far. FireGold Phoenyx thought they had possession, thought they had the ball, but everything they thought was true turned out to be wrong. It's 1-0 to Irie Legacy.
And a complete mirage of an offensive opportunity for FireGold gets completely spun on its head, and Irie Legacy, they get their first lead of this series. But we've seen how the goals have been going for the rest of this series, and they immediately fire back! Lucario!
It's response after no you. This isn't English League because they're just too polite. Keep giving each other goals. And that's FireGold Phoenyx responding now. Can Irie Legacy continue the pattern and retake the lead? It's going to be difficult though. Prith moving forwards, looking to get it past Max, who's back in goal. He's not on target from Prith. And now it's Destro with a chance. Passes to Irie, finds the bottom left-hand corner. And yes, the script has definitely been read by Irie Legacy, and they get the second goal on the board, and this is a complete mirror of game number 1 right now.
And the self-fulfilling prophecy strikes once again. Irie Legacy, brilliant shot there off an absolutely sublime pass midfield. It's exactly what both of these teams really need to be doing. The offensive firepower coming off of their teammates, the trust, the positioning, to keep that possession and eventually develop a dangerous shot. Whether it comes from that first shot or it has to come from the third, it doesn't matter. But eventually, even a strong defense will crumble if you put enough dangerous chances on target. As Lucario looked very awkward there. The shot coming out from Destro, but the shot's been missed!
But the follow-up has not. Breath able to get there. It's Destro who puts that on the crossbar. Drops down. Destro once again striking the crossbar, but it is the Englishman to find the top right-hand corner, and that doesn't happen very often. The script has been flipped. The prophecy is not fulfilled, and a team actually leads by 2 goals, and it could be 3. Irie takes over, looks for the bottom left-hand corner. Siriox sends it clear. Prith on the back wall is not going to get there before Max, though. Danger for Irie Legacy if they step off the ball, and that's exactly what they've done. Destro on low boost is going to try and put it up to Prith. Siriox picks the ball up, and it's going to go over the top. Lucario is there. He used Energy Bolt, and it fires into the net of Irie Legacy, and FireGold Phoenyx back within 1.
Yeah, and Lucario again stepping up. My player to watch from FireGold Phoenyx for Irie Legacy. They have to really keep this defense going, but the defense might not be good enough for the kickoff. But Siriox, again, he couldn't quite get enough juice on that shot to get it past the defense. But now here he comes again. The shot again, but lacking just that little bit of power to get past Destro. Now here comes Preef. Preef again has control, but Lucario, the 1v1 merchant on the side of FireGold Phoenyx, keeping an absolute stalwart castle of defense on the side of FireGold Phoenyx. He does not want to let any more goals past his net, and Destro, he's whiffed on the backboard, but no one there again to follow up. The confidence lacking a little bit from FireGold Phoenyx at the moment. Lucario has to try and build this one out, and the double commit, completely unforced error from FireGold Phoenyx, and Irie Legacy again double the lead.
Yeah, I don't know really what Siriox is doing there. Lucario seems to have that under control. Siriox just needs to kind of sit back and let Lucario do his thing. Eventually, it's a complete miscommunication between the teammates, and Irie Legacy convert to make it 4-2. As now Siriox trying to right the wrongs, trying to move forwards, trying to get that goal back that maybe he cost his team, but he's not going to find it as of yet. Lucario on 0 boost. Can't challenge that one. It's pushing forwards from Irie Legacy. It's into the corner. Irie looking to get this ball back in the middle, but Prith has gone for boost instead. Now he posted up onto the back wall. Can't find the double touch. Destro can, though. Challenges well. Irie can't get up over the top of Siriox, and now it's coming back forwards for FireGold Phoenyx. Prith gets it over 1. Can he get it past Lucario? Yes, he can. Can he get past the last man? No, it's pushed back towards the net of Irie Legacy, and that has just found its way into the net somehow.
What? Where's the defense gone? I had to genuinely ask the question, where has Irie's defense gone? That looked like a prime offensive opportunity for them. Complete and total control over the ball, and FireGold Phoenyx having to send caution to the wind and just start panicking to keep that ball out. But No defender, just the last man gone to the shops a little bit there. And the counterattack maybe not expected from that position, but it is exactly what ends up happening. And now the lead again cut down to 1. FireGold Phoenyx, they've given themselves plenty of time to make this happen. But Max, he could have taken a little bit of control there, but instead chooses to take a pop shot from midfield. And Lucario's whiff off the corner just again give Irie Legacy a chance to move this one upfield. Now Destro, he's got boost, he's got time, no one's challenged him. And there's a demo coming out from Prife onto Lucario, but the ball actually is in midfield. The pass down to Irie and Irie Legacy. Again, 2-goal lead found.
That's nice from Irie. He's in the right place at the right time. Destro with a good challenge, but that's his hat trick as well for Irie, the Irie Legacy man. Finds his form, and it very much looks like we will be tying this series up as Irie Legacy look to win game number 2. Ball coming into the middle. It's Siriox to turn on it. Irie challenges well, challenges with pace, and ball's going to fly across the net, but it's still challenged on that side by Irie Legacy. Now they're moving forwards, looking for the redirects. It's Lucario off the back wall. Oh my goodness. That double touch would have been absolutely insane, but not to be just yet. Prith still moves forwards, gets that flick as well. It's awkward on the back wall, but Max sends it down, and it's Lucario to finish the clearance, but close to a 6th from Irie Legacy there.
Yeah, I mean, I have to really think about that double tap from FireGold Phoenyx, specifically from Lucario. He's going to be wishing he got that one back, but he does eventually, immediately into the midfield from Siriox. Max stealing the assist, because why not? Power of friendship compels you. And now it's again 50 seconds left. FireGold Phoenyx, they've currently been stuck in a cycle of scoring and then conceding. They need to break that cycle if they want to put themselves on match point, and Lucario might be the one to do it, but again, Prive puts that one barely to the side. And again, FireGold Phoenyx, they're running out of time. The clock is running down, but they need to make something happen soon. It needs to come preferably off of this offensive play. Max the shot blocked away by Irie Legacy, but again, they now come downfield. Lucario into the midfield, but no teammate is there. Max actually is there first because no one chooses to challenge. Again, ball off the corner. Now Cyrex looks for the drop down, gets it. Is anyone there? Lucario, weak shot. Max has to back away. And now FireGold Phoenyx have one more chance to build up an offense if they want to win this game too, or at least take it to overtime. Max, unfortunately, could not get good to that touch. Lucario has no boost. So unfortunately, he's actually demoed out the play, and Irie will put that ball to the ground, not taking any risks. And it's now 1-1.
Irie Legacy finds the response that they had been looking for, and although it was a little bit tight at the end, they do take it 5-4, and suddenly we find ourselves 1-1. We said we'd be shocked if this game ended in a sweep, and we have not been disappointed inside 2 games. Both games ended up being only a 1-goal scoreline, Subzan. Who's looked better in those 2 games for you personally?
In the 2 games, there hasn't really been a difference maker between Irie and FireGold so far. Yeah. However, we talked before this series about the demo plays that Irie goes for. I mean, top 3 demoers in the entire tournament so far. Have you seen a single demo from them so far?
Not one that I remember. I've seen a demo from them, I think. I'm just not sure it was...
more so a choreographed demo play, because...
No, not a demo play. No.
And that's a terrifying thought for FireGold. It's the one thing that Irie are really known for at the moment, is these demo opportunities, and the stats show it. And if they're currently keeping the series this close without them, imagine how dangerous this will be for FireGold once they start incorporating those demo plays, specifically from Prive. Once he starts chasing those demos on you, FireGold might find themselves in a little bit of hot water.
We'll see if that is the case. Destro goes for the fake, looking to now take it to the top left corner, saved away by Siriox, back in from Irie, but pushed away once again. The power of friendships is strong. Prith on the sidewall is able to get there, and now he's going to put that into the corner for Destro to take away. Oh, but it's good pressure from FireGold Phoenyx. They want to keep the ball in Irie Legacy territory. And it's Lucario who gets there. Off the back wall. Chance now for FireGold, but it's not going to be found. Siriox keeps that pressure on. Prith with the clearance. He's going to get challenged early by Lucario. But it's back to Destro. Back wall. Anyone from Irie going to follow that in? No. Irie from the midfield is now going to put this into the middle. But I think that is going to be the offense done for Irie, it should have been. It might not be. Ball dropping. Midfield, Destro can't recover, and it's still 0-0.
Yeah, and I think the one big takeaway of this first minute and a half is we've seen a little bit of a sense of normality so far. We've been seeing goals galore for this whole series so far. We're currently now 2 minutes in to this third game, and no one really the one to break the deadlock yet. Both these teams settling in now, finally. It only took 2 games, and really showing the best that they're capable of and putting their defense on as much of a display as their offense. But again, the double commits from FireGold Phoenyx are one thing that do concern me a little bit. I've seen a lot of their goals coming down to those double commits, and a lot of offensive opportunities there really should have developed into very threatening shots being cut out simply by virtue of a double commit. But Cyriox is just a little bit too fast to that ball, and FireGold Phoenyx finally break the deadlock.
And this is the script that we're following. FireGold Phoenyx won the first game. Irie Legacy won the second game. It's only fitting that FireGold Phoenyx look to take the lead in game number 3, as now it's down to Irie Legacy to have an answer, to have a response. But it might not be happening so soon. Destro has to deal with that one, does send it up to halfway, but Max is waiting to put this ball back into Irie territory. There's a demo for you. Irie taking out Lucario, but it's not choreographed. It's not a particular demo play, and it's going to be FireGold Phoenyx who are able to bring the ball away. Lucario looking for the drop down, looking to get the second touch. It's going to be Max who looks for the bottom right corner. Pushed away, Cyriox with a chance, Prith with the save, and the scoreline remains as is, but FireGold Phoenyx really had a chance there to extend their lead and didn't take it.
Yeah, and that would have been a brilliant situation for them. Get that 2-goal lead. That cushion is absolutely pivotal to any team, especially when you're against a team like Irie Legacy, who are capable of that as much offensive firepower as you are. And there we go, a little bit of chaos being instilled by Cyriox, and FireGold Phoenyx get that second goal that they've been so brilliantly after.
Just look at how close all 3 members of Irie Legacy are as that ball hits the ground, right? There's 2 of them right on the ball, and there's one watching that same post. And I don't know about you, Subzan, but for me personally, that doesn't seem like the best defensive positioning that I've ever seen in my life.
No, it doesn't. You never really want to be clumped up as a defense, and that's where you get punished. That's really where you get punished, because the best thing to do as a defender is cover options that your teammates can, whether it's you cover left, they cover right, I cover high, you cover low, something like that. But it's option coverage is a real pivotal part of any defense. It's not just boost for the ball and hope you hit it. You've got to know that you can't cover every option that exists. It's not possible. You've got to put yourself, and your teammates more specifically, have got to put themselves in positions where they can cover it, and a double commit comes out there. There might be a third goal, but the double commit again from Irie and Destro makes sure that, again, double commits, they help at some points, and that's an example where it does. Because as long as the goal doesn't go in, the double commit doesn't end up mattering. Oh, Lucario's caught in a little bit of an overcommit there. As Prive, he's downfield, he's got control of the ball. Here's Cyriox completely hook, line, and sinker, but he barely manages to get that ball out of the way and out of harm.
That's the result of the pull shot in the end, but it's now Lucario who challenges this one early. Max trying to play it back to him, but Lucario sat on 0 boost, so Destro's going to be able to move forwards. There's a demo on the back lines. Prith has taken out one of the FireGold defenders, but it's going to be Cyriox to send it back up to halfway. Prith drops it down. Is there anyone back? And Lucario is able to make that save. Irie trying to keep the pressure on, but Irie Legacy has just not been their game right now. 2-0 down with 10 seconds on the clock. Looking for something, looking for some momentum to go into game number 4 with, but it doesn't look like they're going to find it. Prith can't turn on that one. It drops onto the corner. Ball remains up. Still a chance. FireGold Phoenyx might take the chance to go 3 up, but that ball eventually will drop in the corner. And FireGold Phoenyx respond to Irie Legacy, leveling with a win in game 3.
Yeah, interesting there for Irie Legacy, because we've been receiving stats in the background, and not many of their games have been decided by anything more than 1 goal. That is one example of them. They've played 11 games now, and 7 of them have been decided by 1 goal. And frankly, That's a good stat line. It means you're keeping it close for everyone, even though you are on that 1-2 game scoreline at the moment. But that's another example of a game that kind of gets away from them a little bit. And I mean, Irie Legacy, they need to regain in this game 4 because frankly, that game 3 looked a little bit more cohesive from both sides. A lot less chaos compared to what we saw in the opening 2 games. And it felt like FireGold, as soon as they weren't panicking and double committing, almost felt like they were completely dominant coming out of that. And that is a little bit of a bad sign for Irie, who now I think really need to make that adjustment, finally start incorporating those demo plays that we've been seeing from them in previous weeks, as the stats indicate, and really make it awkward for FireGold if they want to take this one to game 5. But game 4, it's on double match point now for FireGold Phoenyx. 2 opportunities to close out this series and take one step further towards securing a playoffs position against a team that is of equal standing to you. But now Preeve, he's downfield. That's a good 50 onto Max. Lucario, he has no boost in defense, so Max has to go again. Cyriox, good clear away. And now again, the offense has to reset for Irie. Now Preeve has control, but Lucario just chooses to ego challenge the ball and again leaves Irie in an awkward situation where they have to simply boom the ball away and lose any possession that they were gathering.
Yeah, now FireGold Phoenix come right back down the other side, and Lucario doesn't want to be late for dinner. He wants this series done as soon as possible. Fires from the sidewall in the midfield, and FireGold Phoenix are 1-0 up. They have broken the tradition in this game. It should have been Irie Legacy to take the lead if we were following the way that this game has gone so far. But FireGold Phoenix break tradition, and they also break through the Irie Legacy defense.
Yeah, and it's that first goal that really puts that pressure now on Irie Legacy. We saw them get completely shut out in game 3. Now they've got to find a way to break past the stalwart defense of FireGold Phoenix. We talked about it in the pre-show and before this series began, how good players, specifically like Lucario, are at defending, but that defensive show wasn't quite as good as he would have wanted. Destro takes advantage of that, and that is now an equalizer.
That is now an equalizer. Destro into that top right-hand corner, top bins, postage stamp, whatever you want to call it. That is where that ball finds its way. You couldn't place it if you walked up to it any better. And now it's Irie to try and make sure that this game does extend. It's Cyriox onto the sidewall. Awaken to push it forwards though for Irie. Challenged in the midfield by Max. FireGold Phoenix looking to keep the ball deep in Irie territory, and Lucario stops it immediately. Cyriox onto the back wall, looking for the double touch as well. Hits the crossbar. Close, but it's not going to be that second goal just yet for FireGold Phoenix.
No, not yet, but they're certainly the team with more pressure. I've really not seen Irie on the side of FireGold for much of this game 4, let alone, you know, since they've scored that first goal. It just feels like it's offense, offense, offense from a team that really has been celebrated for their defense. I talked about how defense wins championships, and currently right now, FireGold Phoenix seems to have made that adjustment where it's like they've got as many saves as they do, but the best defense for them is simply, at the moment, a good offense. And, I mean, they've not really had to defend, and we've seen that, but that is awkward from Lucario, as the ball is now finally entering FireGold's half, but almost as soon as it does, the clear from Cyriox puts it right back into Irie's side of the field. Max with the whiff bump onto Lucario, but it's barely off target and he knows it, so it gives him time to go for boost. Now it leaves Max. He's also got boost, time, and ball to his name, and we can't quite get it past Destro. We would have liked a little bit more there with Max, and now gives Destro a chance to shoot that one, but Lucario's clear is good to the corner. Bit of a rule 1 between friends there, but it's not an actual rule 1, so it's not committed to, and the shot going barely off the post, and Irie Legacy cannot seem to buy a goal at the moment.
That might cause some problems. Their mental would be a little bit rough there. It was massive problems in the back lines for FireGold Phoenix, but they survived with a bit of Cyriox heroics, and now they're trying to push forwards. They're trying to make that stick, get that second goal. It's off the back wall. Is anyone going to be there? It's Destro to send it clear, but challenged well by, I think that was Max, maybe Cyriox actually. It was, and Lucario now with time and space into the middle. Neither of his teammates followed him in, so Max has to challenge. It's now over to Lucario. Gets it past one. Gets it past the second. Looking for a teammate. Siriox is in the middle. If he can see him, if he can find him, he goes for the fake, but the ball doesn't have the power to make it past the first defender. And either team really could go ahead and win this one in this last minute or so.
Yeah, they could do. They've been playing, both teams really have been playing considerably more cautious in this fourth game, specifically in the last about minute and a half. They've really been cautious of overcommitting. They don't want to do it. They don't want to lose game 4 to a silly goal that the opponents just get on a really poor counterattack that never should have been given up. And right now, I mean, Irie Legacy are the ones that really have to push here. That looked really awkward for Lucario and Max, but the ball are barely out. Now Cyrox has boost, but can't quite get enough to get a second touch into that one. Prive again up, Max good 50. Does he have enough to get a second touch? No, but Irie is his touch not quite good enough. But again, Irie Legacy stuck in their own half, being suffocated by FireGold Phoenyx, and there might be a second goal. Max, good block away there by Irie Legacy, and the boom downfield means that the attack now fizzles out, but it's again been reset by the pass from Lucario down to Cyriox, stuck in Irie Legacy's corner. Now Prive gets it past one. It's just Cyriox to beat. He has a defender in midfield, but the shot is barely ricocheting off the corner. It looks like overtime. It might be happening unless FireGold Phoenix have anything to say about it, but Prive actually just cuts it out before that opportunity can come to pass, and Irie Legacy should put this one to the ground. They do, and we have overtime in a game 4 that can make and break the entirety of this series for Irie Legacy.
It absolutely can. FireGold Phoenix want to end this series right here and right now. A goal in overtime would do that. Irie Legacy want to extend to game 5. Let's see what happens. Max, big challenge early. Demo coming out from Lucario. Aggressive plays early from FireGold Phoenix. It's saved away by Destro. Siriox to keep the pressure on. Back to Max. Gonna take a pot shot, but Destro's gonna be there without too many problems, and that might be rough for Siriox to deal with, but he does deal with it well. Destro into the corner. Teammates in the middle. Max sends it clear, though, and it's going to go onto that sidewall. Irie to send it back in. Lucario doesn't have any boost. He's going to struggle to deal with this one. Gets a good 50, but Prince looks for the top corner! And we are going to a game 5! Irie Legacy have the ice!
And would you want it any other way? The 50s from Irie Legacy broke down FireGold Phoenix's defense, and they barely could not hang on. Game 5 is now afoot, and the winner, it comes down to this golden game situation from here on out. And it's really going to determine who comes out swinging in this 5th game, who has that confidence to take that extra step, throw caution to the wind maybe, and beat down their opponents, because it looked like for a majority of that game, FireGold Phoenix were the better team, but they made those few mistakes, really let Irie back into that game, I feel like, and gave them a little bit too much time, a little bit too much respect to build up offensive opportunities, and that is what caused them, in my honest opinion, to lose that game 4.
I think you might be right. Yeah, a little bit too much respect potentially, but Irie still had to take advantage of that, and they did with aplomb. 2 goals, Destro and Prith responsible for them. As we head into this game 5, one of these 2 teams will go even on the season 3 week 4. One of them, unfortunately, will drop to 1 and 3. It doesn't seem fair, Subzan. It doesn't seem like either of these teams should be in that position, but yet here we are, and it all boils down to this best of 1 between FireGold Phoenix and Irie Legacy.
Yeah, it doesn't feel fair, but you are the writer of your own destiny, and both of these teams have it within their power to equalize their total score, but again, they need to make it happen, and it needs to be, as you said, in this best of 1 equivalent. That shot coming out from Cyrus, brilliant clear away there from Mayor Early, but unfortunately, I might fumble my words there, but again, the offense is not done from FireGold Phoenix. The flip, it's awkward, and the offense keeps coming. It's unrelenting from FireGold Phoenix. In the opening 30 seconds of Game 5, they do not want to drop this series. They currently want it so much more than Irie Legacy, and it's showing in the offensive opportunities that have been generated. But now here comes Prive downfield, really awkward, and Airoli!
The counter-attack is in for Irie Legacy, and Max can't deal with this on the sidewall. Prith finds his teammate Airoli flying through as that second man. And they take the lead in this game. Irie Legacy, after that overtime goal in Game 4, tails up momentum on their side. And now they look to take the series away from a FireGold Phoenix team who were there with double series point. It's Destro over to the far side, looking to get this on the sidewall, moving forwards. Lucario challenges early. Irie to put the pressure on the FireGold defense, and now it's Prith. Goes low, Max. Able to make that challenge, and it's sent away by Lucario in the end. So FireGold Phoenix have another attack. Max gets it over one. Can't get it past Destro, though. And the scoreline remains 1-0.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like FireGold Phoenix will feel hard done by that they are in this 1-0 deficit situation, given how much offensive firepower they put on in that opening 30 seconds. But just a little bit of defensive awkwardness is what cost them, and it might cost them again. Cyrex, brilliant clutch clear from him there to keep FireGold Phoenix away from a 2-goal deficit. But now Irie Legacy coming upfield again. The boom might be punished. They might play off of it. The shot barely off target, but Max deciding to get that touch actually makes it considerably more awkward for FireGold Phoenix than if he had left it. But again, just a weak touch from Preef there. Gives FireGold Phoenix again another opportunity, but they're unrelenting. They're continuing to keep cutting their teammates, keep offensive pressure. They do not want to let FireGold Phoenix out of their defense, replicating exactly what they did back to them at the start of this game. Now Max on the backboard actually just whiffs it after calling Lucario off of the aerial. And Cyrex has also missed the ball, which now gives Irie Legacy a chance to build, but the offense is fizzled out by that pinch from Lucario. The pass midfield, is anyone there? No, Preef, good block.
Good block, and Siriox in an awkward position now, has to half flip, has to deal with this one. Half the game done, and Irie Legacy, they are 1-0 up. They've got 1 foot in that 2-2 scoreline through week 4, and now they're going to look to have maybe 2 feet, but it's going to go wide right. Prith off that sidewall gets the reset, but Lucario reads that well. It's now Irie to drop that down into the corner for Irie Legacy, looking to build off this, looking to build an offense. Prith, good challenge, but it's sent away by Max. Destro on that far side will go unchallenged. Oh, that's not a nice bounce for him. Into the corner, tries to get a pinch, but it's demo from Max on the goal line. It's dropped down. It's saved away by Irie, who's doing so much for this Irie Legacy side. He pushes forwards now, and the pressure is alleviated once again from Irie Legacy's side. Prith trying to turn on this and get a shot. Maybe Irie takes out one of them, but gets taken out as well. Chance for Destro. Is that going to find its home? Yes, it is 2-0 with 1.5 minutes on the clock.
Oh, and Destro barely gets that one past Lucario. I had to do a double check to make sure I was actually correct in what happened there, and it's exactly what I thought it was. FireGold Phoenix, they will feel so annoyed at themselves that they've let this one go by the wayside and slipped away from what should have been such a brilliant opportunity for them to equalize their record in this tournament. But they do still have 1:30 to control their destiny. 1:15 now, actually. It's all within their own hands, but they need to make it happen, and it needs to happen now. They do not have a second chance to build this one up if they want to take home this series, and they need to really start throwing caution to the wind, start playing really aggressively, not playing that really defensive style that we've seen from them thus far, and just get in the faces of Irie Legacy and disrupt them that little bit. Lucario, now the shot downfield for Destro. Good clear to his own corners. Lucario has pre-jumped him, but completely missed the mark on the pre-jump. Rife, there's the demos we were talking about, which now leaves Max in a 2 versus 1, but Lucario spawned again just in time. Rife, not quite the touch he would have wanted, but gets the second touch again, just to recover that one. 30 seconds left on the clock now, and Irie Legacy have to defend with their lives, as FireGold Phoenix are going to start sending everything, including the kitchen sink.
Yeah, Destro sends it away. It's Prith to pick it up. 20 seconds on the clock. It's gonna go over to that side wall. They need something in order to give themselves a chance on the kickoff, and it's gonna be in from Prith, surely. He has a chance, goes low, and it's saved away, but I don't think it's gonna matter for the outcome of this game. Destro tries to get the ball back in. It's gonna hit the post. It's back in from Irie, though, and Destro saves it away. He says it doesn't matter. We don't need a third goal because we've already won the series. 2-0 from Irie Legacy, and in the end, they win the series 3-2, coming back from a deficit of 2-1, Subzan. And you have to say that's going to really work well on the mental of Irie Legacy.
Yeah, the confidence is going to be so brilliant for them coming into future weeks. But for FireGold Phoenix, I mean, they will feel a little bit disappointed that they really lost that series. They had that opportunity in Game 4 to see it away, but they barely just couldn't do it. And the pressure from Irie just ramped up to 11 in that Game 5. Obviously, forgetting about that first 30 seconds where it felt like FireGold Phoenix could have scored 5, 6, maybe even 7 goals with the amount of shots they were putting on target. But none of them able to really break past Irie's defense, taking up the mantle of those defensive kings for about 30 seconds there, and then just did not let FireGold Phoenix into that Game 5 for the rest of the 4.5 minutes that remained in that game. So very good for Irie Legacy, but for FireGold Phoenix, I mean, it's 1-3 now, but they certainly do have an opportunity still. It's not like their season's over or anything, because, you know, still plenty of time left, but they would have wished they could have got that series and got that little bit of a step up.
Yeah, it felt like it was a must-win for both sides, but in the end, it was Irie Legacy to take it out across that 5-game series. When we come back, we will have an interview with one of the Irie Legacy players, so stick around and we will see you on the other side of this break. Irie Legacy take down FireGold Phoenix 3-2 in a 5-game thriller, and you can see, joined with us is the man who did not let them pass. It is Prith. How did you find that game?
It was an interesting one, to be honest. It was a bit chaotic. I'm really tired, so I didn't have a clue what was going on, to be honest. But yeah.
All right.
I mean, yeah, we had sort of noted in the booth how really Game 1 and Game 2 seemed to just be really back and forth between you and FireGold Phoenix. There really didn't seem to be anything separating you. Every time one team would get a blow on the other, then they'd suddenly fight back and get a goal to themselves. Was that like... How was that? Was that like a mental thing that was... Do you think that was sort of causing that to happen, or was it just simply the teams maybe being a little bit cold coming into that first game?
I don't know, there's just zero defense being played the whole series, so it was like, yeah, offense is the best form of defense, right? So, oh no, it's the other way around.
It is the other way around, but it works in this
case.
It
worked in that way, yeah. Defense out the window, just score as many as you can and hope for the best.
Yeah, for sure. Got to ask about the future, though, of this wonderful league. So we've still got another 5 weeks. Irie Legacy now sit 2-2, an even record, which is likely to be good enough to get into playoffs by the time we get around to the end of the season. But what kind of record do you guys think that Irie Legacy are capable of going forwards into the latter half of this league?
To be honest, we should go unbeaten the whole league. 2 losses. Probably just lag, maybe. I don't know. But I expect us to win every single series going forward.
Interesting take there. I think the one thing I've got to ask, I mean, there's obviously that question of, you know, how will you perform for the rest of the series, but I think it's the play style of this team. So we noted in the pre-show before this game when he came on there, that all 3 of you sitting within the top echelons of the demos within this tournament. My big question is that sort of like the way you guys play normally, or is that just sort of a game style you've adopted given the opponents that you've come up against so far?
I think we're all quite old and don't really play the game anymore, so our mechanics aren't the best compared to some other players, so we just go for demos and cause chaos. And if there's chaos, they don't know what to do, and it works pretty well. I feel like I didn't need to go for as many demos this series because I felt like we were better, without being rude. But
yeah, we noticed that. I think it was Game 4 that it might have been Game 3, but it was either Game 3 or Game 4 that even though you guys were even at that point, we hadn't seen any of those demo plays from you that I was sort of expecting to come out of the team. So, I mean, you touched on it there that you thought it was just you didn't need to go for them, but was there even that thought in the back of your mind that if you started to get into that difficult situation where you maybe were on the back foot, that you'd maybe phase them back in? Or was it just full confidence the whole way that they weren't actually needed?
I mean, I was pretty chill throughout the whole series. I didn't really think we were going to lose, but towards the end I started demoing more, just because I wanted to get my stats up for the... I need to stay at the top of that demo leaderboard.
Very important to hold that title, no doubt about that. Prith, thank you so much for joining us. Do you have any final words for the stream?
Shout out to Destro and Aroli and Kasalian and my feet apparently on the stream. Yeah. That's all. Thank you guys.
Awesome. Well, Irie Legacy, 3-2 victors in the end over FireGold Phoenyx. They have taken that dub and they move forwards onto an even record across the season. But we are not done here on the Awaken League channel. We still have one more game left to go. It will be Team Solid taking on LadiesFirst in about just over 35 minutes. So for now, be sure to enjoy the grand finals from the VisionGaming Invitational 4. Until that game starts, we will see you very soon.
Our extended break comes to an end, and we're now presented with two teams fighting towards the bottom of our league table. Two teams that really could do with a win as soon as possible to claw their way back towards a winning position. We have Team Solid versus LadiesFirst, 1 and 2 versus 0 and 3. And I'm joined here now with Irie. What do you think of these teams coming into this series?
Well, thank you very much. I think we have a really exciting matchup on our hands here because Team Solid, they have looked really good so far, but they have had some close calls as well in the league. And they really can't afford to drop another one here if they want to make playoffs for sure. They have had difficult matchups, but this one is a must-win for them, I would say. But there is upset potential, of course, especially if they let down their guard a little too much this series.
Yeah, I mean, we look at the league table, and LadiesFirst, they've only got a single game to their name out of the 3 series that they've played so far, -8 game differential. Whereas Team Solid, they are only sat on that -2. It's the same game differential as Irie Legacy and FireGold Phoenyx that we saw in the previous game, but they did have that worse goal difference, which is why they were sat in that 8th position. They're on a goal difference of -8. But looking at the stats, it looks like, again, similar to FireGold Phoenyx, this is another defensively minded team, Darius and Retox, both being 4th and 5th on the overall saviors per game, 2.56 and 2.22 respectively. Now, again, I said in the last series, defense does win championships, but it really is going to crutch on their offensive abilities, and their third, Dixer, 10th. On top goal scorers, 1.11 goals a game. So they've got the offense, they've got the defense. I really have to ask, what can LadiesFirst do to break past what looks like a very, very solid core?
Indeed, a solid core, you are right. On the stat sheet as well, I see LadiesFirst always 1 or 2 positions behind Team Solid, so it's not that far off, not that much of a difference actually between those two teams. They both play the same style, and I think it all comes down on who counters it, who knows the style better in that sense, who knows how to play against this style in the first place. So I believe LadiesFirst really has a shot at it if they can outmaneuver Team Solid, but Team Solid in Dixa is a really, really strong and mechanical playmaker. He's been scoring many goals, very flashy, setting his teammates up. I feel like he's, not to downplay of course the other team members, but he's been carrying his team way through many games so far. And I think if they play well together, they really have a good chance of getting a sweep today.
Yeah, I mean, a sweep is exactly what they're going to want. Given that Irie Legacy and FireGold Phoenyx went to that Game 5 situation, they can leapfrog them with anything better than a 4-goal game win or better. Now, if you're the side of LadiesFirst, you really don't want that to happen, because frankly, to be down in that position where you are tied with Zeno eSports, who we saw in the first series of the day, dropping 3-0 to mYinsanity, you really want to get that game advantage and really get even that little bit of just confidence coming into the rest of the series of this event. And frankly, for LadiesFirst, they've really got to dig their heels in at this point and start getting those results, because the longer they leave it, the more difficult they will find it to make that comeback eventually happen, especially if they start coming up against competition like, you know, like the top of the table, like Cloud Esports.
Indeed, yes. They still have to face many difficult opponents for sure, and they will need a win here if they want to keep hoping for a playoff spot actually, which will be tough if they cannot win a single game here. I think in the end, against Zeno especially, if it comes to head-to-head in the end, they will need these games difference to be ahead. because it could get very, very close between those two teams.
Yeah, especially no team wants to come out as last place.
Exactly.
So really, even if both of these teams, because they're the only undefeated teams coming into this week, both sat on a 0-3 scoreline, is LadiesFirst and Zeno eSports. But they're really both going to want to make sure they're elevated above that last place, even if they both end with one win where maybe one of them beats another and Zeno eSports, say, takes out a side like Team Solid in the future. Either way, they're not going to want to sit on that last position, but every win you can get is critical for a team's confidence. And frankly, if you could start that comeback to the tournament happening right here, right now, then you could find a complete upturn in your results going into any future weeks and might find yourself suddenly placed into that battle for playoffs. But the game is now kicking off. It's our final game of the night. It's Team Solid versus LadiesFirst.
Indeed, and as we see right into offense, our Team Solid trying to get a shot on target, saved away by the LadiesFirst side. Very well done from them, trying to start a counter, not quite happening so far, unfortunately. Now into the air, going for a double. Oh, maybe the follow-up actually! Jesus, we're getting close scenes here so far already. LadiesFirst looking solid, not quite making it work as Genji, getting a bomb still. Could be dangerous, but well recovered by the Team Solid defense now.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly the start. LadiesFirst would have wanted that little bit of, not necessarily chaos, but that good offensive pressure that they really need, that confidence to be starting to build up early into this series. Really take Team Solid off of any sort of pedestal that they might be sat on. Swing the confidence in your favor, because frankly, if you come into a series not looking confident in your own abilities, you will eventually find yourself falling to even weaker competition, just because confidence and mental in Rocket League is such an important aspect of this game. Darius, he tried to get that ball downfield to open up the scoreboard for Team Solid, but the defense for LadiesFirst, it's holding strong for now, but Darius again couldn't quite get that one past. I'm gonna go with Trop. I feel like that name is a little bit too long for me to pronounce the whole thing all the time. I think I'll go with Trop. But either way,
too French as well.
Yeah, a little bit too French, and I don't know about you, but my French pronunciation is it's not good, and I don't even think it's worth the attempt, because I will just humiliate myself in trying.
I mean, that's okay. We can always use a little content, right? I think my French, I'd say, we'll go for Tropicule, who goes with a little bit of an English touch. Otherwise, it's Tropicu.
Yeah, I'm never getting that.
Yeah, we're not doing that. Nice save on the goal line by Retox. Low boost as well. Insanely done. Dixon now with low boost, trying to get the ball out. Good demo here defensively by Darius. Very physical game so far. Fakes for the Team Solid side, not working out. Would have been open for Dixon to turn around. He didn't realize, fortunately. Venox now trying to go around Retox once again. Solid 50 with the shot. Genji's right there. Dixon on the follow, gets dunked. There's two guys on the ball right there for Team Solid. They need to reconfigure now. Need to go back into defense. Defend this attempt by Genji, who flies a little too far for this bounce on the ceiling, unfortunately.
Yeah, and you mentioned the physicality of this series, and LadiesFirst, even though they are sat down on that 0-3 scoreline at the moment, they are a team that, like Irie Legacy that we saw in the previous series, does like to get physical with their opponents, sat on 3.71 demos a game average, whereas, I mean, Team Solid, they've got less, they've got about one entire demo per game less, but they certainly do like their demos, both of these sides, and I mean, I've talked about it constantly. The fact of the matter is, to break down a structured defense, you need that little bit of chaos, and a demo is a perfect way to do it. Darius almost off that dunk, got that one squeezing into the top right corner, but barely not on target. Now Vinks, downfield, Genji tried to get that redirect, not quite able to make contact to it, as now Team Solid look to try and build from their own back half. Darius on the ball, actually gets dunked by Genji. Now a chance there for Trop. Trop might be able to drop it down, but misses the ball. And Team Solid now have an opportunity to build this one from their own half. Dixer, again downfield, a little bit of a pop-up at the last second, but no teammate there ready to follow. Darius, a little bit of a panic touch, but a double commit from LadiesFirst. Feels like any chance of a counter-attack that might be building. Now Darius actually gets dunked by Vinks. Vinks gives a chance to get that into midfield, but a lack of communication gives Trop sending that one completely over his head. But now again, looks a redirect. Dixer again too fast to the ball, which now leaves the ball in the side of LadiesFirst as Genji tries to get this one upfield again, but the first touch isn't quite what they would have wanted. Retox, good touch off the backboard. Now Vinks might actually get it past Dixer, but Dixer's recovery is just about good enough to recover back to that ball and prevent LadiesFirst from developing a counter-attack.
Indeed, now once again putting up pressure. Our LadiesFirst side, impressive game so far. Just 1 minute left now. Team Solid with Dixa trying to move out. No boost available to him though. Just missed the spawn as well. Trying to go for a mind game. Another pass mid to Darius. It's turned away by Drop once again. So well done by LadiesFirst side, but there's no boost available for Genji. Dixa is aware of that, goes for the play, flip into the ball, gets turned away by Genji, continues with the air dribble, tries to flip reset, doesn't quite work out for him, unfortunately. Shot by Dixa, goes in first game. Is looking to go to see Team Solid's way with that goal. Well done by Dixa.
I mean, I feel like a goal for Team Solid was a little bit overdue. It felt like they were on offense for quite a bit in at least the last 2 minutes. LadiesFirst, they were getting the ball, but they weren't doing much with it. They tended to go for those boomer ball plays, really losing control of it as soon as they actually got the control of the ball. Retox again with a shot. Again, it's plaguing LadiesFirst at the moment that when they get access to the ball, they're not controlling it well, giving Team Solid a chance to recover, a chance to just simply ego challenge the ball, get control of it themselves, and really dominate the field. Now Dixa again with a shot. Genji, good save, but the save won't be good enough to get them this win. LadiesFirst have to score now. It's 0 seconds, but they won't be able to as Team Solid take game 1 in a very close 1-0 affair.
Indeed, I would have expected a little more goals in that sense, but both teams playing very defensively, as you see from the stats as well. It was sort of evident actually that there will be a low scoring series, and so far just 1 goal happening for the Team Solid side. That's all it takes sometimes, and that's just a beat over a double commit in defense for LadiesFirst. So I think there's definitely potential here for LadiesFirst to get a game, maybe a few, maybe even a series win against Team Solid.
Yeah, I mean, I have to ask a question because I've seen in the scoreboard there, obviously, Team Solid, they averaged 10 shots. They took 10 shots that game. I believe LadiesFirst took 7. But I saw on the titles, it's Darius actually rocking the RLCS Regional Champion title, and that is something that I didn't know I'll forget about the title. There's Dixa opening up the scoreboard, 1-0, 4 seconds in. But to go back to the initial point, I'm not that familiar with Darius. Is he like a coach?
Oh, you're gonna hate this, yeah.
He's a sub.
So
he's a sub, isn't he?
No. He's coached an SSA team. So
he coached
yeah,
Nixa. He coached Nixa, didn't he?
I don't know who exactly it was. Unfortunately, I kind of forgot. But it was an SSA team that made main event on SSA. That he
Well,
coached.
he's got regional champions, so it has to be.
And they won even as well, yeah. So
You
I'm
know
not
what?
quite aware about SSA. I just know there's a lot of EU players playing there as well. I think even this regional we have like 0 SSA players, and it's all EU basically, which is very sad for the region, I think, or just very sad to even allow, in my opinion. But that's another thing to talk about another day, because now Trophy is going to try and get LadiesFirst into offensive now. A little pressure to counter that goal from Team Solid already, that first little half of the game.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing well at the moment, both of these teams. A little bit of a deadlock has been restored. Oh, but a little bit of chaos there from Trophy is... The touch wasn't quite what he would have wanted, but again, not really able to reset his Team Solid. But LadiesFirst, they are looking a little bit precious now. Here comes Dixa trying to show off his mechanics, but not able to get it past Genji. And I had a little bit of a look at it. It seems like it was Team Bonjour, which was like Skill Steal and Co. in the most recent the most recent split, which he's got some other teams as well, which they don't seem to have trackable results because they don't have Wikipedia pages. But either way, it's a good result, you know, as a coach. And as a coach, I've talked to many coaches in my time, and they tend to have a very good understanding of how the game works. Even if they're not able to execute on it, they will understand how you're supposed to play the game, and that is sometimes really all you need to do. Just that understanding to be almost like an in-game leader to your teammates, make them really understand what they need to do and when. Sometimes is almost better than like being one of those mechanical free play demons that can hit a triple flip reset double tap off their own backboard.
That is very true, but for Darius, I think he's played in Switzerland as well for a long time. He's been one of the top players as well, so he knows like that high level efficiency as well. He knows how to play on high level in that sense. He does have a few mechanics as well, as far as I know. He used to go by Fleek actually, if any Swiss OGs remember. He used to play for Dive as well, who play here in this league, but now it's all eyes on Retux as he goes off the ceiling, goes blocked away again. Yeah, Darius, now we see Tries to go up, couldn't quite read the bounce, goes for a low mind game. He's just kept 3 people busy on that play. So sometimes it's just about that as well. How many players can you take out? How many can you keep busy? How many players can you get past to set up your team for those chances? And Dixa is exactly the player you're looking to set up here for that Team Solid side.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, frankly, from what I've seen so far from Team Solid, all of these players seem to be doing a very, very good job of not only keeping control of this ball, but really threatening LadiesFirst's defense with complicated mechanics, whether it be those double taps, those flip resets, or even just an air dribble to a teammate. But they have that philosophy, they have the ideas. That is exactly what they need, and likely coming off of Darius, you know, having a coach, like I said, critical. And oh, here comes Troppy. Oh, that's a good air dribble. Oh, that's sublime from Troppy. It's exactly what LadiesFirst needed as they finally get a goal, and the answer is finally there.
Into top corner as well, nothing to do there. Dixa, no boost to react. So well done by Troppy, insane goal, and they're gonna be happy with this one for sure. Phoenyx now trying to make another one happen. Low boost to his name, gets it past, Darius turns it away. Wow, LadiesFirst looking threatening today.
Yeah, they are. They've certainly come out guns blazing in this series. And frankly, it's exactly what I feel like they would need. But they can't let off the gas at all, because if they do, Team Solid will find a way back in. Genji now is the one up from the pass from Vinx, but the shot's not quite there. Troppy, again, looking for the double tap. Actually gets it off the rebound of Retux. Oh, that's so unfortunate for Team Solid. But for LadiesFirst, it's exactly what you needed. Probably laughing that one off a little bit, but it's exactly the lead that they need.
Yeah, disaster strikes at the worst possible moment for Team Solid. Just a little bit of miscommunication maybe. They need to get back on track now. There's 1 minute left to make that happen. Phoenyx trying to keep the ball busy here in that orange side of the field. Darius in the air, keeping control, well done. Good 50 upfield as well, but there's no orange player to really react to this.
Yep, no, but they've only got 50 seconds left. Do Team Solid, they really have to start sending things soon, or else they will find themselves dropping a game, which will be LadiesFirst's second only game in this entire tournament thus far after 4 weeks. And, you know, if they can get one, who's to say they can't get 3? But Darius is there to slash the hopes of LadiesFirst and equalize this game.
Nice team play as well there, off the wall, off the teammate, and Darius just puts it past the defense. Well done. Just wonderful team play here by Team Solid. Exactly what they need more of. Create offensive chances together. Off of touches, not ideal is the kickoff though. Rito's struggling with this one. Now, once again, another shot on target over the net. Now it's awkward for Darius. Troppy just barely misses out on this shot. Low boost now for Dixa in offense. He gets demolished. Genji with an air dribble. Oh, they can't let him do this one again. Not happening for LadiesFirst. Good demo there. Genji in center trying to make a shot happen. Not quite reaching the ball though. Unfortunate, just 10 seconds left now. Phoenyx trying to be offensive against Dixa. Tries to get it middle, does so. Troppy, maybe a fake would have been better. Retux with a crucial bump. Kicks up, field to Retux. 0 second! Bar down into the net. Team Solid redeemed themselves.
Yeah, and I thought for a second there, I was so nervous watching Retux take this shot, because as soon as that goes high, my first thought was, oh, he's missed this. He's got an open net, the whole field to shoot at, and he's missed it. But thankfully, the crossbar was more favourable to him than it is to me in my ranked games, because if that was me, that's going bar down on the floor, 2 pixels, that's all that's out of the net, and it goes to overtime and I lose off a kickoff.
I relate so much to this. Yeah, that's how it usually works. But not if you bribe it like Retux does. Apparently, well done by him. Good shot, keeping us on the edge. But yeah, it is getting close here and a little bit worrying for Team Solid, if I'm honest.
It is, yeah, LadiesFirst. I mean, they've started sending all guns blazing and now 2-0 down. I said it in the last series, they put themselves in a unique position where they can start just sending the house, send everything they've got at any particular ball, any particular offensive play, throw caution to the wind, and Team Solid have to be able to find an answer to that one, because when a team is confident, or more so should I say, throws any inhibitions they might have to the wind, just starts committing, ego challenging every single ball, they become infinitely harder to play against. And that was almost a brilliant demo there from Troppy that gave Vinx a chance to shoot it. but the second man was able to see through the smoke and got the clear away. Now again, ball downfield, Dix is in a 1v3, but he does a brilliant job of clearing that one away. Might be given an open net, but Genji's back just in time to get that block away. It might be an open net the other way for Darius, but no, clear downfield. Now Retux has to react to that one off of his spawn, giving Darius a chance to shoot that one, but chooses to fake it instead. And again, we're entering a phase of a little bit of boomer ball here. Both teams just seem to be booming the ball back and forth between the corners. No one taking any semblance of control, just happy to wait for the overcommitment, wait for the mistake from the other side, and then punish that one once it eventually presents itself.
Indeed, and boom go the cars as well. Another demo coming in, just 1 minute gone, and already 3 demos inflicted here between those two teams. Another dunk coming in by Genji, trying to get it center. Low boost though for LadiesFirst side. That will be a hard offense to maintain, and indeed just a little 50 possible now for LadiesFirst. Genji trying to get it out, but there's just another pass to Retux, who can't really do much with this ball, unfortunately. Vinox trying to make it work with his teammate, but it bounces off. And no, the rebound's missed! That's a disaster. Team Solid, they could have taken the lead quite easily here.
I mean, we've all missed a shot like that at some point.
True.
You can't sit there and go that no one is... Anyone who sits there and says they've never missed an open net like that is lying.
Indeed, that is lies, blatant.
We've all done it, and unfortunately for Team Solid, they're the ones on the receiving, or not the receiving end, they're the ones actually doing it. And if I know anything at least about how my mentor would be after missing an open net like that, if LadiesFirst score first here, then your mentor would be completely in the bin. But Retox, he makes sure that that is not going to be the case, and Team Solid get their first goal in Game 3, and now LadiesFirst, they are on a difficult situation now. 1 goal down in Game 3. No more second chances. They have to figure something out, and it has to be fast. I liked what I saw there from LadiesFirst, though. Genji going for the mid boost off of the kickoff. A little bit of a kickoff strategy that I've more commonly seen 2s more than in 3v3. But I like the confidence, but the kickoff just didn't quite
the
go
reset!
straight. Oh, the reset from Troppy. The lean back, almost brilliant, but unfortunately not quite able to make that one happen as Dixer brings that one downfield. Now Troppy, a little bit awkward. It actually just gets that touch lobbed over him. Now Darius might have a chance to shoot this one, but it's on the backboard for Retux. It should be in, and it is 2-0.
Retux here looking dangerous, second goal for him. After getting bumped as well, good recovery. Stays ready for that ball from Darius. Perfect center goal hit, 115 kph in there. Demo for good measure. He's feeling it now, despite a little hiccup before. He is looking pumped for this win. Genji getting pumped away as well. Leaves it just to a 1v1 between Vinox and Darius. Vinox wins out 50-50, stays on the ball. Tries it center, but no one to be seen here for LadiesFirst side, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, they need to find one soon. They've got an average of a minute per goal. It's plenty of time to do it. But they, unfortunately, they need to make it happen soon. Because frankly, if they leave it too long, Team Solid, they will just solidify their defense, as the team name suggests, and they will just lock down any hope of LadiesFirst getting even a game in this. And frankly, I've got faith in LadiesFirst. I've seen what they've been capable of doing in this series, but they need to just string it together in one cohesive form of offense. Because one offensive play, and suddenly you're back on a kickoff, and anything can happen there. There's Genji downfield, though. He might look to dunk. Unfortunately, not able to quite land on it. Now here comes Dixer downfield. Vinks might have to get an awkward clear on this one. Dixer almost got the pre-flip to get that one in, but barely went past the ball, which now gives LadiesFirst a chance downfield. Now Troppy, unfortunately blocked away by Retux as the ball is now downfield again. Genji has to make a very difficult diving save to get back to that one and keep LadiesFirst in this final game of the series.
Indeed, Troppy once again on the ball from that defensive side. Flick over one, tries to bump and gets in the way of the ball. That's unfortunate for LadiesFirst. Just a minute left now. Ball into middle for Phoenyx, but it's not happening. Retux and Darius both there to defend this one. Double attempt by Dixa, goes center. But Team Solid don't need to shoot this one. They have plenty of advantages to work with. Another team bump going in. They're getting nervous here on the LadiesFirst side. Retux meanwhile sets up Dixa. Dixa on the shot, turned away by LadiesFirst. Over to the left side is trying. Choppy now with the fake, maybe? Not quite. There's just such little space to work with for LadiesFirst. Good pressure by Team Solid so far. Nice attempt by Darius with that flip reset.
Yeah, and we talked about before the series Team Solid's defensive prowess, and we'd mentioned it with in our previous game, but the defense really didn't end up actually being a factor. It more looked like just offense, offense, offense. Think about defense later, but Team Solid have done a good job of holding that defensive line, keeping LadiesFirst out of any opportunities to make this comeback happen. They've played the game sense.
my God!
They played it well. That was almost brilliant from Troppy, but an equally brilliant save from Retox kills any hope of LadiesFirst getting their second game win of the tournament, as Team Solid take a 3-0 sweep over LadiesFirst and solidify themselves in a 2-2 record.
Just what they needed as well. Incredible scenes here on game 3. Retox scoring twice, getting an insane save in the end as well. Looking good here for Team Solid, looking promising for the rest of the season.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what they need at this point in the season to get that 2-2, but more specifically with better game difference than Irie Legacy, who will sit there on -1, whereas Team Solid will now sit there on a +1. Wait, is that how math works? Yeah, that is how maths works. I'm not dumb, I swear. But listen, I'm a university student, but basic maths was not what I signed up for. Either way, Team Solid, it's a brilliant position to be in. They now move themselves up into 6th. Obviously, other results depending, they could even go up further than that if Permitta Swiss end up dropping, or Permitta Swiss or Dive Esports actually end up dropping their series. They could end up going even further up the rankings, potentially as high as 4th. Maybe, I mean, saying they could go to 3rd if VisionGaming gets... No, VisionGaming, if they get swept, they go to 2, we're on 1, yeah. So either way, 4th is as high as they can go, other results to permitting, but it's perfect for them, whereas LadiesFirst, I mean, they have to feel disappointed that they didn't get that one over the line, or didn't get even a game over the line. I felt like they could have got game 2, but they were playing without the player that I was looking to, really, in the green room, Serac. They didn't have her on the field that game, and I feel like once she's back, I don't know her reason for not playing today, but once she's back in that roster, I feel like they're going to see a bit more success if the rest of the roster can continue to play as they did today.
Yeah, very positive as well on that outlook. As you mentioned, Serac is really a key ingredient to that chemistry between them, I feel like, especially with that high-level experience as well. I really feel like they would have deserved the game here, but unfortunately they just couldn't really get it done, couldn't quite get it over the line. A few failed kickoffs really haunting them this night, I feel like. And yeah, it's just a little bit unfortunate for LadiesFirst, but depending on the results this week, it might be looking even better for Solid on the other hand, which is really nice for them.
Yeah, exactly. But that is the end of the series. 3-0 sweep to Solid, exactly what they would have wanted. We will not be returning for an interview. However, if you are interested in the interview, !French in the chat. The VisionGaming account has already done it before I could type it in. If you want to catch the interview, there'll be a French-speaking interview over on that channel. But as for us, that is all we've got time for. You know what? My pronunciation is not that good, but Roly, do you have anything else to say before we end off the broadcast for the moment?
All I can say at this point is check out the guys, follow their socials, and also stay safe. Have a great night.